Group codes is a feature that allows you to gather commonly used groups of field descriptions and access them easily. These can be used for quick access to point-oriented codes, or they can be set up so that they'll appear by default in a pattern, which is often used for line work associated codes. Let me show you the group code editor. I go to the menu home button, to settings, to group code editor. So here you'll see by default that we have a number of predefined sample group codes. I've got road 2 lane, and once I've selected it, you can see over on the right, these are the codes that are stored with this group. Typically, these field codes will be presented to you in the order from top to bottom, and we've got a pattern of zigzags set here, which will mean that when you get to the bottom of the list, they'll be presented from bottom to top again. You'll see also, as each of these field codes is selected, that line work will automatically be activated, but I can change that attribute by picking on this toggle. Here this would be 3-point arc, this would be spline, this would be no line work. Let's look at a different group. I'll go to the structures group. So this one's designed around building descriptions. You'll notice that some of the codes are associated with line work, some of them are not. You'll also see that this one has a different pattern. It's essentially no pattern. So let me go through an example of creating a new code group. When we pick on the groups, we'll see that here I've got one example, and actually I'll probably delete that. And let me make a new one. I'll call it test again. Now when I create a new code group, I can pull descriptions from other pre-existing groups. You'll see that in the top we've got group codes that are defined within the project, and down the bottom you'll see group codes that are stored within the defaults. But in this case, I'm not going to copy any, and I'll just pick OK. So here's my new group. So let's start by adding some codes. We pick on list, and that'll take us straight to our Automap, and then I can just search through for a few common codes. I'm adding gutter, and I'll activate line work for that one. So there's my new test group. You can see that it's just got 3 descriptions in it: gutter, sidewalk, and drop curb. And actually I would like these to appear in a slightly different order. So here I'll make it appear in the order gutter, drop curb, sidewalk. And also, because this is the type of profile that I would just like to repeat from the top to the bottom and then go back to the top, I'll give it the repeating pattern rather than the zigzag pattern. I'm not going to use the show button panel because I want to be able to see the map view when I'm using this code. Saying OK will save the codes. Watch another movie for learning how to access the codes when you're doing fieldwork.